But why are there so many free zones? I think there are up to 53 different free zones in the UAE, which is a lot, of course. Yeah. Now, in terms of operations for us, Amazon Turkey, even though it's technically under Amazon Europe, there's a huge potential. The reason why I think Saudi Arabia is not performing as well as it should is because...
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome to Ecom Squeezed. I'm your host, Sebastian, and today we have a wonderful guest with us.
Thank you.
So could you please introduce yourself and give us some idea, Krystel?
Certainly. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for having me on. My name is Krystel, and I'm the founder and CEO of Amazon Sellers Society, based here in Dubai and focusing on Amazon in the Middle East.
That's great to know. And a lot of sellers who are established in the US and in the UK or European marketplace, they want to explore, they want to jump into that Middle East. So what do you recommend to them?
Yes. that's my recommendation. Welcome. So the Middle East market is quite unique.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, like you said, US sellers, European sellers have certainly maybe came here for vacation or heard about the awesome Dubai, but maybe haven't really explored. Everyone knows this is a buzzing city. Maybe haven't explored selling on Amazon here or don't really know where to get started.
Yeah.
So just like a few figures, because I love numbers, to give you an idea. E-commerce has been increasing year on year at a trend of 12%, which is incredible. This is an emerging marketplace. This is what we call Amazon's emerging marketplace. You get a lot of perks when you sell here, but one main thing I would like everyone to focus on is that Amazon knows what they are doing. When they launch in an emerging marketplace, they do want sellers to come along for the ride.
Right.
So as a small example, there are no subscription fees here.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know it's not a big deal, but it's one thing. There's only two fees, and that's a referral fee and an FBA fee. Nothing else. No other fee. All of that is designed because Amazon does want to attract the best sellers in the region, and I think they are.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the main hurdle is for sellers to figure out whether or not this is the right market for them, and how is more of a thing, how to get into the market. So this is a long answer to your question.
Of course, but the information's are
long answer to your main question, but the answer is yes, you should explore it as a potential opportunity for you to sell your products here.
Great. And what are the normal barriers that a seller have when they want to launch in the Middle East?
That's a great question. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So please go ahead.
So again, I believe what Amazon does is it lowers the barriers so that we can get a little bit more international sellers coming in. That's from Amazon's side. From the governmental side, you know the vibes here, Sebastian. You know how, especially the UAE is a country that's made for business, made for entrepreneurs. Saudi Arabia, which is also a market that we're going to be talking about, is also very similar. It is maybe, I would say, a little bit easier to get into the UAE market. So the barriers to entry are quite simple. A lot of people don't actually know that they don't even have to establish a business here in order to sell on Amazon. So if you are a US-based seller, use your US LLC. If you are a UK seller, use your LTD and just get started. The only additional step would be to be tax compliant.
Okay.
You know, we don't like our taxes here. So the only tax would be VAT, which is value added tax, which is maybe similar to sales tax in the US. So that would be it. So you would need to be VAT compliant. You need to register and take care of that part. And that's it. And it is somewhat easy because you could test out the market at least with your own business entity, and then maybe take the plunge and register a business here.
Okay, and we have a free zone here, right? For example, Dubai e-commerce free zone. So do you have to use any free zones or anything like that, or you can just have the VAT registration done and you can send the stock here? How do you manage it?
That's a great question. Let me just give you a little bit of a concept as to why the free zones exist. But I'm not a business registration specialist. I'm just going to tell you how I know it. Don't quote me on it, as the
course.
saying goes. But the concept of why are there so many free zones? I think there are up to 53 different free zones in the UAE, which is a lot, of course. The concept is this was changed a couple of years ago, but non-locals, non-Emiratis, which is like almost 90% of the population, were not able to own their own company in the country. You would need to have a local partner. This has been changed now, so that's it. But that was the concept of mainly free zones. In a free zone, you could register your business, use that business to operate externally to the UAE. So that was the concept. And you could own it 100% as a foreigner. Technically speaking, that free zone company cannot do business in mainland UAE unless you have a distributor. Amazon acts as your distributor in this case. Hence why if you have a free zone business license, which is honestly the most cost-effective option for any business license in the UAE, you can sell on Amazon, no questions asked, but you cannot set up your own store, for example, because that's a free zone business.
Sure.
So with that being said, normally what we suggest to sellers that are coming into the market is no headaches. Let's get your shipping company to be your importer of record. Sure. We tell the shipping company, last mile, Amazon, or last mile, my warehouse in certain address. And then they take care of all of the customs clearance, free zone, non-free zone, everything is done. And then that's what happens. So that's how you can operate as a free zone company and not worry about customs clearance and all of that.
Okay. And you have partners in place, right, to support all those hurdles that a normal seller have from the European side or US side?
Yeah, Sebastian, we do. There's a great community of service providers here. Honestly, at the level of what you would expect from anything in Dubai, we do things perfectly here. And this is such an entrepreneur and business-oriented city and country. So yes, anything that you would require. I get a lot of sellers asking me, is there FBA here in Amazon? Of course there is. So there's anything that you would expect and any single support that you would require. We have our own partners, but there's also a lot of service providers out there that can help. Yeah.
That's great. And I have one more question. That's for, we have UAE, we have Saudi, and we have Egypt. Is there any other countries that I missed out?
No, you didn't. So under the Middle East umbrella, we've got these 3 countries. They are separate. But they are also, that's why I call it umbrella. Bradley from Helium 10 calls it token. I'm like, no, the token doesn't work for me. My brain works as an umbrella. So they're somewhat connected, but they are also independent because of, I think, governmental issues, like they're going to operate differently. So yeah, you've got United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, as well as Egypt under the Middle East. Now, in terms of operations for us, Amazon Turkey, even though it's technically under Amazon Europe, but it is fully managed by the Amazon team here in the MENA. So it's from a technical perspective, from the back end, it is part of the Middle East, Amazon Turkey, but from the front end, it's part of Europe.
Oh, that's great. And in terms of turnover, sales, and activities, how do you rate them, all these three countries?
It's very odd that the UAE is the strongest.
Really? Which is a small country. But
exactly. That's why it's so odd. If you just look at the numbers, it is the smallest country of them all. Just for anyone who doesn't know, the population of the UAE is barely 10 million. So it's like even smaller than a state in the US, I think, you know. I don't think there's a state with 10 million people. I don't know. But so yes, it is the strongest in terms of turnover. I think for multiple reasons, mainly because it was the first marketplace that Amazon opened. And it started in 2019. And what happened in 2020, not to be repeated again, expedited the growth of the platform extremely. So what was supposed to happen in 3 years happened in 6 months. So that's probably why the marketplace is leaps and bounds as to every other marketplace. But, you know, everything also is performing quite well. And we're seeing very strong progress in Amazon Saudi Arabia, which is a market that everybody's excited about. You hear about all of these events happening in Saudi Arabia, lots of celebrities going. So it is also a country that's, doing quite well, and Amazon is also part of that ride as well.
That's great. And in terms of opportunities, you mentioned Saudi is big, but it's not happening. That means, do you think in the future there's a good potential?
There's a huge potential. The reason why I think Saudi Arabia is not performing as well as it should is because it's very easy to come into the UAE, both governmental support. It's very easy. So, and I think also for someone to come into it's probably they've visited Dubai. Maybe UAE makes a little bit more sense to them. Everyone knows someone that lives here. So I feel people feel more confident. And Saudi Arabia seems to be too much far away, too different. I think that's the reason. But exactly like you said, at the end of the day, you go where others are not going,
Exactly.
the road less taken. That's what needs to happen. So yes.
That's great. And thanks a lot for, she's known as the smartest person and the kindest person on Amazon community. So anybody who asks, she's the, And do you want to provide some information about the website where they can find you and all this stuff?
Thank you so much, first of all, Sebastian, for saying that. That's very kind of you. So our company is called Amazon Sellers Society. One of the things that we do is we love to provide a lot of content for anyone that's thinking of coming into the region. So the first thing that I would say is go to our YouTube channel, Amazon Sellers Society Middle East. You'll find everything that you need. But if you need further help and support, reach out to us on our website, www.assmiddleeast.org, or just type in Amazon Sellers Society and you'll find us. Reach out to us. You'll be able to book a call with our team. We'll try to assist you with anything that you need as much as we can.
That's great. I will put all the links, the LinkedIn profile, the YouTube channel, website, all those information in the show notes of this video. Thanks a lot for coming down here.
Thanks so much, Sebastian. Thank you for your time.